The sirens screamed, painting the colony red. A biohazard outbreak, fast and lethal. I saw panic, chaos, death. Then, through the swirling decontamination mist, they appeared. Not just medics, but something more. Their movements precise, their eyes glowing with impossible data, their hands extensions of nanite delivery systems. These were the angels of the biozone, bringing order to chaos, their deadly grace a stark contrast to the despair. And in that moment, even facing death, I felt an undeniable pull towards their calm, focused power. My name is Kalen Vance, medical officer, standard certification, 15 years experience in deep space colony deployments. I'd seen my share of flu outbreaks, radiation sickness, even a few nasty industrial accidents. But nothing, absolutely nothing, prepared me for the horror that unfolded on Colony Sigma-7. One cycle, it was a bustling, self-sufficient habitat, mining rare minerals from the asteroid belt. The next, it was a tomb. It started subtly. A few cases of rapid-onset fever, extreme fatigue. Then, the hemorrhagic symptoms. The neurological deterioration. The speed of it was terrifying. Within hours, the infirmary was overflowing. Within a day, the entire habitat was under level 5 biocontainment, its automated defenses locking down, its air purifiers screaming their futile efforts against an unseen enemy. The bioagent, later designated Crimson Scythe, was fast, lethal, and mutated with terrifying speed, adapting to every antiviral we threw at it. I was in the main infirmary, surrounded by chaos. Alarms blared, a relentless, piercing shriek that vibrated in my bones. Muffled screams echoed from the quarantine zones. The hiss of emergency decontamination units filled the air, a constant, oppressive white noise. My uniform, once pristine, was stained with sweat and the grim reality of a losing battle. My hands, usually steady, trembled as I administered synth morphine to a dying miner, his skin already mottled with grotesque lesions, his eyes wide with unseeing terror. We were outmatched, overwhelmed, dying. My internal monologue, usually a fortress of clinical assessment, was a frantic scramble for survival, a desperate plea for order amidst the encroaching anarchy. Contain, stabilize, treat the symptoms. Buy time. But time was a luxury we didn't have. The Crimson Scythe moved through the population like a wildfire, leaving a trail of death and despair. Conventional medicine was failing. We were just delaying the inevitable. The colony's comms were jammed, overwhelmed by distress signals, then silence. No help was coming. We were alone. Utterly, terrifyingly alone. Then, a new sound cut through the chaos. A high-pitched, almost melodic hum, growing steadily louder, accompanied by the subtle click of advanced gear. It was precise, deliberate, and it came from the main airlock, a section of the habitat that had been under absolute lockdown for hours. Through the swirling decontamination mist that billowed from the airlock, they appeared. Not just medics. Something more. Far more. 4 of them. All women. And they moved with an unnerving calm, a surgical precision that cut through the panic like a scalpel through diseased flesh. Their sleek, form-fitting biohazard suits, made of a shimmering, adaptive material, enhanced their movements, displaying critical internal readouts and conforming to their perfect physiques. They were not just protected, they were integrated. Their skin, visible through the translucent sections of their suits, possessed faint, glowing diagnostic readouts or line patterns that pulsated with patient data or their own vitals, a living display of their internal state. Their eyes were mesmerizing. Not human, not truly. They glowed with a soft, focused light, their pupils replaced by advanced multi-spectrum medical scanners, allowing them to see cellular decay, pathogen spread, and physiological collapse with impossible clarity. And their hands, encased in form-fitting gloves, were extensions of nanite delivery systems, shimmering with an almost liquid pattern on their forearms, activated by touch, ready to administer life-saving treatments with impossible precision. These were the angels of the biozone, the contagion containment specialists, and they were bringing order to chaos, their deadly grace a stark contrast to the despair that had consumed us. Their calm competence, their life-saving capabilities, their unwavering dedication, and the sterile, precise beauty of their advanced medical science integrated with their forms. It was utterly captivating. My internal monologue, stripped bare of pretense, was filled with a desperate awe. Who are they? What are they? They're human-like, but so advanced, so perfectly integrated. The one in the lead, her biohazard suit shimmering with faint green diagnostic readouts, her glowing eyes fixed on the overflowing infirmary, moved with a fluid, silent grace. Her voice, when it came, was calm, precise, utterly devoid of emotion, yet resonating with an unsettling clarity in my calms, bypassing all the static and alarms. Medical Officer Kalen Vance, she stated, her voice a synthesized whisper that seemed to cut through the chaos. Designation, Specialist Aura. Contagion Containment. We are here to establish Level 6 protocols. Provide all available patient data. Immediately, my hands, usually steady, trembled as I tried to compile the fragmented data. My conventional medical knowledge, my years of experience, felt utterly inadequate in the face of their advanced capabilities. They were operating on a level I couldn't even comprehend. The pathogen, it mutates too fast. I rasped, my voice hoarse, filled with a humility I rarely experienced. Conventional antivirals are useless. We're losing them. A second biohealer, her suit shimmering with faint blue readouts, her eyes glowing with an intense, analytical light, glided past me. This was Lyra, her movements impossibly fluid. She moved directly to a dying patient, her nanite delivery systems shimmering on her forearms. She placed a hand on the patient's chest, and a wave of shimmering light, a cascade of microscopic nanites, flowed from her hand into the patient's body. The lesions on the patient's skin visibly receded. His vital signs, displayed on Lyra's suit, stabilized. He was still critical, but he was no longer dying. My blood ran cold. Impossible. My internal monologue screamed. They're not just treating. They're healing. At a cellular level. This is the miracle. The third biohealer, her suit shimmering with faint red readouts, her eyes glowing with a focused intensity, Serafina, moved to another patient, her movements precise, calculated. She carried a sleek, integrated diagnostic tool, its tip glowing with a soft, internal light. She scanned the patient, and complex, multi-spectrum data overlaid her vision, visible to me as faint projections in the air around her. She was seeing the pathogen spread, the cellular decay, the physiological collapse, with impossible clarity. My initial awe transformed into a desperate need to understand, to learn, to assist. My conventional medical knowledge, my years of experience, suddenly felt like a crude, blunt instrument against their surgical precision. But perhaps I could still be useful. I knew the layout of the colony. I knew the population demographics. I knew the localized spread patterns. I knew the human element. Aura's gaze returned to me, sharp, piercing. Your data, Medical Officer Vance. Your localized knowledge. It is essential. Guide us. Show us the hot zones. Show us the uninfected. We will bring order. We will contain. In that moment, even facing death, I felt an undeniable pull towards their calm, focused power. My life, my understanding of medicine, was about to be profoundly, irrevocably changed. I was a standard medical officer, but I was about to be pulled into the orbit of the angels of the biozone, a terrifying, beautiful force of nature. And I knew, instinctively, that to live, I had to earn their trust in a world that craved my demise. The infirmary, once a scene of desperate chaos, was now a hub of chillingly precise efficiency. The biohealers moved through the contaminated zones like silent, glowing specters, their sleek biohazard suits shimmering with diagnostic readouts, their eyes scanning, their nanite delivery systems activated by touch, bringing order to chaos. My internal monologue, a relentless analytical machine, was now a constant stream of awe and desperate learning. They are not just treating, they are rewriting. They are healing at the very source. My role, initially one of overwhelmed despair, shifted to reluctant collaboration. I became their guide, their local contact, their human interface with a dying colony. I provided crucial, localized information, the layout of the residential sectors, the ventilation systems, the population demographics, the initial points of infection. My conventional medical knowledge, though rudimentary compared to theirs, allowed me to identify specific physiological markers, to categorize the stages of infection, to triage the overwhelming number of patients. I worked closely with specialist Lyra, her movements fluid and graceful, her biohazard suit shimmering with faint blue readouts. She was the primary nanite delivery specialist, her hands, encased in form-fitting gloves, constantly active, flowing with shimmering, almost liquid patterns as she administered microscopic healing agents. Her eyes, glowing with an intense, analytical light, would scan a patient, instantly assessing the cellular decay, the pathogen spread. Ambient sound, the hiss of decontamination units, now more rhythmic and controlled, the soft hum of medical tech, punctuated by the occasional, precise click of Lyra's nanite systems. I witnessed their direct, hands-on application of their unique abilities. Lyra would place her hand on a patient's chest, and a wave of shimmering light, a cascade of microscopic nanites, would flow from her hand into the patient's body. The lesions on the patient's skin would visibly recede, the fever breaking, the vital signs stabilizing. It was like watching a wound heal and fast forward, a miracle unfolding before my eyes. But it was also unnerving. The nanites were not just repairing. They were resequencing, rewriting the patient's very genetic code, purging the pathogen at its source. The Crimson Scythe, it targets specific RNA sequences, Lyra projected, her voice calm, precise, a melodic hum that resonated in my comms. Her glowing eyes, like multispectrum scanners, focused on a holographic projection of the pathogen's genetic structure. Our nanites, they resequence the affected strands. They rebuild the cellular integrity. They are a living antiviral. My internal monologue, a mix of scientific fascination and ethical unease, processed her words. Living antiviral. Genetic resequencing. This isn't just medicine. This is bioengineering on a scale I never imagined. They're playing God with nanites. Specialist Serafina, her suit shimmering with faint red readouts, her eyes glowing with a focused intensity, was the diagnostic and containment specialist. She would scan contaminated zones, her advanced optical implants seeing through walls, detecting airborne pathogens, mapping the spread of the Crimson Scythe with terrifying accuracy. She would then deploy localized biocontainment fields, shimmering barriers of pure energy that sealed off infected areas, preventing further spread. Her movements were precise, calculated, every action a testament to her unwavering focus. The pathogen spreads through aerosolized particles, Serafina projected, her voice calm, analytical, and through direct contact with contaminated surfaces. We must isolate. We must purify. Her integrated nanite delivery systems on her forearms would activate, releasing a fine, invisible mist of decontaminants that neutralized the pathogen on contact. My understanding of their methods deepened, and with it, the ethical questions multiplied. They were saving lives, yes, but at what cost? Their technology was so advanced, so seamlessly integrated into their being, that the line between human and machine, between healer and bioengineer, was blurred. Were they still human? Or had their pursuit of medical perfection transformed them into something else entirely? I saw the subtle, glowing diagnostic readouts on their skin, pulsating with patient data, their own vitals. It was a constant, intimate display of their internal state, their dedication. Their eyes, with those advanced multi-spectrum medical scanners, saw beyond the visible, perceiving the very essence of life and decay. Their nanite delivery systems, shimmering like liquid light, were extensions of their will, their hands becoming tools of creation and destruction. Their allure, once rooted in their calm competence, now held a deeper, more unsettling beauty, the beauty of perfection, achieved through the ultimate fusion of life and technology. My internal thoughts reflected my growing ethical ponderings. They save lives, but they also alter them. They rewrite the code of existence. Is this what medicine becomes? A complete re-engineering of the human form? Yet, faced with the horrifying reality of the crimson scythe, with the rapid decay and agonizing death it brought, my ethical qualms felt like a luxury. They were the only ones who could stop it. They were the only ones who could save us. The crisis continued to escalate. The crimson scythe mutated again, developing a resistance to the nanites. It spread accelerating, threatening to overwhelm even the biohealer's advanced capabilities. A critical patient, a young child, succumbed rapidly, his vital signs plummeting despite Lyra's desperate efforts. The alarms blared again, a new, more frantic rhythm. The colony was on the brink of total collapse. Aura's voice, usually so calm, held a rare note of urgency. The pathogen has adapted. It is targeting the nanite receptors. We need a new vector, a new delivery system, something that can bypass its defenses, something faster. My knowledge, my understanding of the colony's archaic systems suddenly became vital. The colony's central atmospheric processor, I projected, my mental voice sharp with apprehension. It's old, but it's powerful. If we could inject a concentrated dose of the nanites directly into its filtration system, it could aerosolize them, disperse them throughout the habitat. A full-spectrum purge. Aliana's glowing eyes, usually so focused, now held a flicker of something akin to desperation. Such a delivery, it would be imprecise. It could harm the uninfected. It could alter them. It's a calculated risk. I countered, my voice grim. But it's our only chance. The pathogen is too fast. We're losing too many. We need to hit it hard. Now, the silence stretched, thick with unspoken questions. The ethical lines were blurred, almost erased by the overwhelming threat. The choice was clear, a desperate gamble with unforeseen consequences or certain death. The climax of this high-stakes medical thriller was about to begin, a race against time, a battle for the very soul of the colony and the future of humanity. And I, the standard medical officer, was about to be pushed to my absolute limits, fighting alongside the angels of the biozone, their deadly grace a stark contrast to the despair. The central atmospheric processor, a colossal, humming beast of ancient machinery, became the crucible of our desperate gamble. The air was thick with the stench of ozone and the metallic tang of advanced alloys, overlaid with the sickly sweet smell of the crimson scythe. My internal monologue, a relentless analytical machine, was a frantic symphony of commands and calculations, every decision a life or death choice. One wrong move, Kalen, and we poison the entire colony. Or worse, we fail, and everyone dies. Aura, her sleek biohazard suit shimmering with intense green diagnostic readouts, moved with unnerving calm, her glowing eyes fixed on the processor's main injection port. Her nanite delivery systems, shimmering on her forearms, were primed, ready to unleash a concentrated dose of the resequenced nanites. Lyra, her suit shimmering with faint blue readouts, her eyes glowing with an intense, analytical light, monitored the pathogen's spread through the colony's ventilation system, providing real-time data. Serafina, her suit shimmering with faint red readouts, her eyes glowing with a focused intensity, created localized biocontainment fields, sealing off critical areas, ensuring the nanites reached their targets without harming the uninfected. Nyx, the fourth biohealer, her suit a shimmering black, her eyes glowing with a cold, precise light, maintained the external perimeter, her advanced optical implants sweeping the contaminated zones for any unexpected mutations. Their calm competence was absolute, their trust in me a fragile, temporary thing, but absolute in this moment of crisis. I initiated the override sequence, my hands flying across the processor's ancient control panel, bypassing safeties, forcing a direct injection. The machinery groaned, protesting the strain, its internal fans screaming. The crimson scythe, sensing the new threat, pulsed with a malevolent energy, its presence a cold, insidious tendril attempting to wrap around my own mind, to corrupt my thoughts, to sow chaos. Ambient sound, the deafening roar of the atmospheric processor, the hiss of rapidly deploying nanites, overlaid with the faint, high-pitched shriek of the crimson scythe's dying resistance. Visions flashed through my mind, fragments of the colony's suffering, the mottled skin of the dying, the frantic breaths of the infected, the despair in the eyes of their loved ones. And then, the insidious whispers of the crimson scythe, subtly undermining my confidence, making me doubt my own abilities, my own choices. It was a chilling testament to its insidious brilliance. It's fighting back. I projected, my mental voice strained, sweat beading on my brow. It's trying to corrupt the processor. I need more power, more focus. Aura's voice, cold and precise, resonated in my calm. Lyra, Seraphina, Nyx. Channel your collective focus. Link with Kalen Vance. Amplify his connection. Force the injection. The three other biohealers moved, their forms shimmering, their hands extended towards the processor's main conduits. Their own bioluminescent diagnostic readouts flared, pulsing with intense light, their minds linking with mine, a seamless, powerful surge of collective consciousness. It was overwhelming, intoxicating, a torrent of pure, unrefined mental energy. I felt their combined focus, their unwavering will, flowing into me, amplifying my own abilities, strengthening my connection to the processor's core. The nanites surged forward, a brilliant, shimmering wave of microscopic life, slamming into the crimson scythe. The pathogen shrieked, a silent, deafening cry that vibrated through my very soul, a cacophony of alien voices tearing at my mind. It fought with the desperation of a cornered beast, attempting to sever the link, to consume my consciousness, to drag me into its biological abyss. But the combined will of the biohealers, channeled through me, was too strong. The crimson scythe convulsed, its insidious tendrils retracting, burning away, leaving behind only the acrid smell of ozone and burnt biological matter. With a final, silent scream, the pathogen was purged. The atmospheric processor hummed with a steady, clean rhythm. The colony's alarm silenced. The air, once thick with contamination, was now pure, crisp, revitalizing. I collapsed, my body screaming with every protest, lying amidst the tangle of cables and biofilters. My consciousness fragmented, dissolving, then slowly, agonizingly, reforming. The pain was immense, raw, physical, but the crimson scythe, its cold will, had receded. The colony was safe. The angels of the biozone had succeeded. The biohealers, their forms shimmering faintly with exhaustion, their bioluminescent patterns subtly muted, converged around me. They were battered, strained, but their eyes, those advanced multi-spectrum medical scanners, now held a new light. Not cold composure, not just gratitude, something akin to respect, and a profound, unspoken connection. Aura knelt beside me, her translucent skin clinging to her face, her voice hoarse, but filled with a profound reverence. You have done it, Kalen Vance. You have purged the blight. You have saved our colony. You have honored our trust. My vision swam. But the cost? I rasped, my physical voice barely a whisper, my mind still reeling from the biological torrent. Lyra, her suit shimmering, her usual fluid grace etched with exhaustion, reached out a hand, touching my forehead. Her touch was cold, precise, yet profoundly comforting. The price of connection is always profound, Kalen. Your essence has been intertwined with ours. You are no longer merely a standard medical officer. You are a bridge. Seraphina, her suit shimmering, simply watched, her eyes holding an ancient knowing, a silent acknowledgement of the transformation I had undergone. Nyx, her suit a shimmering black, nodded slowly. The immediate threat was contained, the colony saved. But the profound impact of their bioengineered perfection, the sacrifices made for their collective strength, had irrevocably transformed me. My own choices, the pursuit of survival, had led me to this moment where my destiny had been interwoven with theirs, and the sterile, precise beauty of their advanced medical science, integrated with their forms, was now my own. My journey for simple medical care had ended. My new path had just begun. The colony, once a scene of devastation, slowly began to hum with renewed life. The decontamination mist dissipated, revealing clean, sterile corridors. The alarms were silenced, replaced by the soft, rhythmic pulse of the habitat's life support systems. My internal monologue, no longer a frantic scramble for survival, settled into a profound contemplation, absorbing the intricate dance of life and technology, the terrifying beauty of their perfected healing. My body, though weary, vibrated with a newfound energy, a subtle resonance that mirrored their own. My skin, once ordinary, now possessed faint, glowing diagnostic readouts or line patterns that pulsed subtly with my own vitals, visible only to my newly enhanced vision. My eyes, once dull human gray, now held advanced multi-spectrum medical scanners as pupils, allowing me to see cellular decay, pathogen spread, and physiological integrity with impossible clarity. My hands, once standard, now felt a subtle hum, a phantom shimmer, an echo of the nanite delivery systems I had witnessed. I was no longer merely Kalen Vance, the medical officer. I was something more, something intrinsically linked to the biohealers, to their pursuit of medical perfection. The biohealers stood before me, their forms radiating a renewed power, their calm competence now etched with a subtle, shared understanding. Aura, Lyra, Seraphina, and Nyx. Their eyes, those glowing multi-spectrum scanners, now held a new light. Not cold detachment, not just gratitude, something akin to acceptance. The crimson scythe is contained. Aura's voice resonated in my mind, calm and precise, yet now imbued with a subtle warmth. Its genetic sequence is neutralized. For now. And you, Kalen Vance, Lyra chimed, her suit shimmering, have become a part of our network. A new healer, a bridge between our world and the outside. My own internal monologue was a vast, silent ocean, capable of comprehending concepts that once defied logic. I could feel their collective consciousness, a profound, ancient sentience that encompassed their shared experiences, flowing through me, part of me. I perceived the constant flux of patient data, the subtle shifts in their physiological states, the distant echoes of their past interventions, their victories, their losses. The sterile, precise beauty of their advanced medical science, integrated with their forms, once a fascination, was now a lived reality, a constant presence in my being. The biohealers did not give me orders. They simply were. Their existence was their guardianship, their healing of life. And now, my existence was interwoven with theirs, with the future of medicine. I had become a part of their team, bound to a new kind of duty. What is my purpose now? I projected, the thought forming not from desire, but from a profound sense of inevitability. Aura stepped closer, her suit shimmering, her glowing eyes holding a profound knowing, a silent acknowledgement of the transformation I had undergone. To observe, to analyze, to understand, to be the human element in our pursuit of healing, and to be our voice when the need arises. Her words, calm and precise, yet imbued with a subtle, shared purpose, resonated with the profound understanding of my transformation. I was the bridge, the one who could still comprehend both the raw, human suffering and the terrifying, beautiful potential of bioengineered perfection. My old life, my human memories, were not erased. They were integrated, becoming part of their collective knowledge, a unique perspective within their boundless consciousness. I remembered the frantic pace of an emergency room, the fear in a patient's eyes, the quiet satisfaction of a successful treatment. But these memories held a new context, a new depth, part of the larger tapestry of their shared existence. The days stretched into a seamless flow. I worked with the biohealers, my hands moving with newfound precision, my mind racing with new insights. We studied new pathogens, refined diagnostic protocols, pushed the boundaries of medical intervention. We became a singular entity, a living testament to healing and the pursuit of perfection, our combined consciousness delving deeper into the mysteries of life and death. I learned to perceive the subtle shifts in a patient's vitals, the faintest whispers of cellular decay, the slow, inexorable march of biological evolution. The concept of free will now seemed like a quaint, charming illusion, a comforting narrative humans told themselves to navigate a predetermined existence. I had chosen my path, or rather, my path had chosen me, and I had accepted it, surrendered to it. And in that surrender, I found a strange, chilling peace. The allure of these women, the biohealers, had been profound. Their unwavering calm, their surgical precision, their life-saving capabilities, it had drawn me in, consumed me, transformed me. And now, I was part of their allure, a new facet of their sterile, precise beauty. My skin possessed the glowing diagnostic readouts. My eyes glowed with multi-spectrum scanners. My hands hummed with phantom nanite systems. The sirens had screamed, but now they sang a different song, a song of life, and I was a part of it. The episode concluded. The immediate threat was contained, the colony saved. And I, Kalen Vance, was no longer just a standard medical officer, but a new aspect of their terrifying perfection, a living bridge between the human and the bioengineered. My existence was a testament to the enduring power of medical science, the relentless pursuit of healing, and the profound, transformative bond forged in the crucible of a biohazard. I was an angel of the biozone, forever, and the calm, focused power of that ultimate healing, that terrifying beauty, was my enduring legacy.